That's interesting. Still playing the audio. It's starting a little early. Hopefully, we won't have to take very long to do this. Yep, the audio. We're getting the audio of the game. Hopefully, I'll be able to wrap this up in an hour or two. So, there's some interesting things that I've started to consider about the current trajectory of the ending. So, because we could make Lizelle into a mind flayer, well, we could, but we couldn't without glitching the game out. So, I mean, I didn't try to repeat it to see if it actually would take the second time, but um, Cock is still an interesting choice and potentially even an appropriate one for Makaria. So I'm just gonna take the earbuds out temporarily so I could focus on my thoughts here. Um, so let's roll an Arcana check for Makaria here, okay? That's a 14 plus proficiency. So maybe a dirty 20. So at least according to some what I've heard from Lore Runner, I can't help but keep referencing back to Lore Runner. And according to the game itself, although it's a conversation we do not overhear between Gale and Mistra, um, elephants are effectively soulless, and presumably, when someone turns into an elephant, it is one of the few ways in which a soul is destroyed. I guess we do have. I have an entertainment center that I might replace. Um, but there is a habitat store right here. Okay. What was I gonna look up? Oh yeah. Um, what happens to the soul after metamorphosis? Apparently, the lore is unclear and contradictory. Apparently, Withers refers to the soul getting destroyed. Okay, the Illiput itself has a new one, which is Mr. calls him soulless, so there may be contradictory information within the game itself. The Forgotten Realm Wiki, the Illithids did not believe they possessed souls. This notion was false as they could still become petitioners, but their disinterest in such a conception of life after death made such petitioners rare. Okay, shit. So it's kind of unclear. Anyway, there seems to be a lot of contradictory information about whether or not elephants have soul, but within this game, I do believe that Withers says that the souls vanish. Um, Mr. calls them soulless. Um, but Withers also said very recently that Karlach is still Karlach. And from his perspective, that might mean something. So there's a few possibilities here. One is that uh, something about the Nethery's magic that of a tadpole. Well, there's at least three instances that could create an exception for her soul being vanished. Um, One could be the Nethery's magic. One could be the circumstances of her metamorphosis with regard to uh, what's his face's involvement with um, in potentially stopping it before entirely completed. Um, a third possibility is that Withers himself, as an avatar of a supposed avatar of Jurgle, if not Jurgle himself, um, has done a bit of work to ensure that Karlach's soul has remained intact and within contained within the elephant body. It could be one of these or all of these. Given that I rolled a 14, and I believe she has a fairly solid bonus to her. Let's just go ahead and load up the game, and I think the character sheets have been fixed, so um, we can actually see all the bonuses we have. Um, I think I'm not going to make a final determination on the canonicity of Karlach being a mind flayer instead of Lozelle until yeah, I have a +6, so that would have been a dirty 20. So you would at least know roughly the idea that some notion that it might be that a soul is destroyed. Uh, so at least I have some justification for her not doing that. If we decide to go that route. Um, but I would say that the fact that it could be if we were to just say that that roll never happened. Um, Makaria could have just allowed it on the basis that she doesn't know or have much of a notion about a elephant soul being or a person's soul being just vanished um, in the process of metamorphosis, and based on what seemed to happen to Baldur, although what he ultimately became in terms of his actual personality and morality is a little sus. So like my final word on it is that basically Karlach makes a little more sense for for character reasons, maybe, because Crockett doesn't want to not die, but she doesn't want to go back to the Hells either. So this is kind of her best bet. And Makaria, having averaged slightly, I guess it's for a heroic tier, only slightly above average intelligence. And below average wisdom, although apparently it's increased to 9. Not sure how that happened. It could be something she's wearing, I don't know. So I guess her wisdom has increased a little bit, not enough to eliminate the negative modifier. Anyway, it's possible for Karlak to either volunteer or Makaria to volunteer Karlak with the idea that maybe it would fix her infernal engine problem. Like, that makes sense in character. For purposes of narrative and where I want the narrative to go, I would go with. I would lean to having Lizelle be the one who turns. So it just depends on like what the actual ending is and like what corrects if there's how much it touches upon her ultimate fate, how much it touches upon Lizelle's ultimate fate, etc., etc. So I have plans. I think I've alluded to them a few times. I'm not going to. I'm going to save the rest of that discussion for when we actually get to the ending. Oh, we do have 2 short rests here. I'm just not sure if I should use it or not. Like, we're 20 hit points down on Makaria. It's not going to restore any spell slots. Oh, we might run into another healing thing. I hope. We probably should. Not sure where we're looting. I don't think there's going to be... Not a Lloyd tank. I could make a new save that says maybe Cannon Larian.
Looks like part of the nether brain, but we'll need to be higher up to climb it.
I'm not sure if we use very many spell slots. I did haste myself, so... Really? What the heck is this? Are these like... I'm guessing these sigils underneath us are not a good thing. Hey, why is Dash all the way over here? And there's... Huh. I mean, deal with those dudes.
This is gonna feel good. Moving.
We're about to attack you, so... We're not... Huh? Okay. Now we're trying to... Can we jump there?
In my best interest. My faith will protect me. On my way. I wonder if this is worth the cost.
What do you mean, not enough movement?
Seems like the best way.
Sliced and burned, dashed and diced, they will be offerings to your splendor.
Can't find path. Really? Do a searing smite, or branding smite. Is this advantage? Oh, that was. Why are we doing a ranged attack on this damn thing? Screw you, game. Okay, that didn't do anything. Hello.
Taking position. Got to focus.
I still don't know what these things are. Okay. That's what these were. That's why I figured. That's a teleport. Only Karlak was, I think, in the line of fire, and she barely took any damage. Are we slowed? I still don't know how our multiple attacks thing. Okay, there we go. Can we get more? Unlethal attack. Okay, there's levitate.
You bow or you break.
Kill these guys first. We'll damage ourselves, we'll also damage the mind player, so. Can we get past this if we jump? No, we don't have enough movement. We'll just.
Got to move.
Probably dash too. Ah, great. I heard there's much point in dashing.
Soldier.
Can we get up? Okay, we can't dash at this point. This is way padded. I, I mean, it makes sense that there are. Like. Where the heck are we? Okay. Hopefully a dash will get us there. And possibly a jump. Oh wait, dash is over here. Okay.
Heading out. On the move.
And she dash and jump. Let's have her dash.
Time to push my luck again.
We can Misty Step. And assume that we're gonna get another. We do have a potion of angelic sleep, so I don't have an opportunity to heal or opportunity to angelic sleep.
That should work.
Foes guide to monsters. I still think we have a crossbow, don't we? He's really here for this extra challenge, or find a little bit of challenge, and I wonder if we're designed to roast their time, even though it does kind of feel like they were. That's just my opinion, man. Especially the airstrikes. Oh, I forgot we're surrounded by... At least only one of these things can... I should probably be heading up here. I believe that forward is... I have no freaking clue. I guess we have to head...
Incoming.
Oh, there's a door.
Easy as.
If these were recently cast... Oh wait, we can still...
I am fury. I am death. Consider me intrigued. No time to waste.
And suddenly we're all warped here. Okay. I had to keep cleaner ally on us. We can get rid of Speak of Dead.
Eyes ahead, soldier. We're nearly there.
Crap, now we should have done that before we... Oh, shit. Maybe I can't put it. Climb up the brainstem. What could possibly go wrong? We have a potion of angelic slumber. I think Shahar already has one.
Wits and blades always sharp.
Yeah. Take a little nap while the elder brain's destroying the world. It's fine.
Looking ahead.
Can't afford to stay idle.
Still fairly stuffed. Okay, cool. So we still have that.
Got a long road ahead.
Are you ready to face the veteran? I guess. Makaria started a conversation. Hey, may I climb up your brainstem? Or just punch his brainstem over and over again? This sounds like a good idea. Well, that is a long... Oh, I guess we're going up there alone, maybe. From the looks of this cutscene. Okay, there we go. Whimsy gonna be like, oh god! Oh god! Why am I doing this? I should just cast this fly spell. Where's my penny ball?
There it is, the crown of Karsus, the site of power, the site of domination.
Looks like that crown could use some nether stones. If these things were ever going to work, it's now.
Oh, it's the game, I think. That's very good sound design because I was like, I looked outside and like, it's a cloudless day.
That face, the one in my dreams.
I know you. I know everything about you. Your thoughts, your feelings, your weaknesses. And so do they.
Does everyone? So I mean that codifies the negative I would have given. Yeah. Potentially. I think these are all Dream Guardians are different Dream Guardians. Meaning that had we asked, oh great, now we have a dominated red dragon. Yeah, all the Dream Guardians look different. Great. Volatile shield, astral gravity, whatever that means. It will fight one of the Dream Guardians then. And then freaking tentacles appear.
We need to act fast.
I'm not sure if this is a time. What are our divine interventions? Thunder to heretical. Call by your deity to bring forward a radiant cataclysm upon all nearby enemies, with 8 to 80 damage. That's kind of good, but you have a great deal of potential to kind of waste it, maybe. Opulent revival. Okay, so that's pretty good. That could be clutch. So it resurrects fallen companions with half their hit points, and restores all nearby allies as if they had long rested. Golden Generosity is only really good outside of combat. And you can get a legendary weapon, Fortune Fires, like your holy bond, which should probably be again good outside of combat. So there's 2 that are good outside of combat, and I'm assuming that Divine Intervention can only be used once. Period. Like, no matter what you choose of the 4, it will only happen once. That is my guess, anyway. Like, it wouldn't be like once per type of a divine intervention. It would be once for divine intervention, period. That's how I would design it anyway. At least it's guaranteed to happen. Huh. Well, these cost an action. Zlorb, apparently, is the name. Of the Obelix, possibly? Yeah, main hand attack. Switch to that.
Say bye-bye.
That's weird. Orpheus suddenly has more health than he had before. That's interesting. We don't have that move to jump. What? Jump requires us to have 10 feet of movement, doesn't it? We can move. We have 16 feet. 0.6. We have. Oh, we use our bonus. Then let's use our action to jump. I guess we use our key to Dimension Door. Oh, we're using our action to Dimension Door, so that might be just... let's not do that.
My turn.
So this confirms that all of our Dream Guardians were different, which should probably be a negative to... I don't know what it would be. Probably information more than interaction. Yeah, I would say information. Like, the solution requires an interaction, but it's an interaction to grant us information. Like, it bothered me from, like, pretty much the very beginning of the dreams that we had. That we could not ask any of our companions to describe their dream guardian. Their dream guardian's appearance. I'm not sure how War Runner would review that. Like, would it be story or gameplay? It'd probably be story for him. Because it's gameplay centered around story, but that's more... That's where I don't know, that's where our systems differ.
I'll strike you down.
We'll strike you down with your own damn blade.
Witness perfection. Yield to it.
I think if we deal with the Emperor, we'll probably be rid of the... It depends on whether or not the dragon is dominated by the Elder Brain or by... I don't know, this one probably is more threatening to us.
I'm ready. Reunite!
Oh, fight! Hell of a fight a dragon.
Jane Aylin will not let this place fall.
forever, pal.
Do we poke the dragon? Yeah, it is being controlled by the Nether Brain. So
What's it gonna take?
they become vulnerable to all damages for the duration of this effect. Ours is compulsion. Yeah, that's good. And he can't teleport by eyes.
Victory awaits.
Hey, where'd that fucker go to? She doesn't need to be hasted to wreck his face.
Another day, another fight.
And fuck you. Quick saving. Take out one of the Dream Guardians if we can. We should probably take out this tentacle too if we can. No, we can't. Apparently, those are not defeating it. The defeating Emperor should have gotten rid of the Dream Guardians. Sorry, Larian.
You need to take control of the Nether Brain. Get to the crown and cast it down. Now!
Let's finish this.
Dominate!
Let's get Isabel here. Oh, like, that's to heal people? Okay. Heal the Dream Guardians, which should be gone again. I mean, Cox should probably be healed. And heal our diva. But apparently Makaria is too far. That's fine. Let's call forfeit. Let's just get a 5th level spiritual trident.
I got this.
Let's see here. Okay, level still. Really? Hope Cox must try to get an Oppie.
Time to strike.
Can she reach Karlak? Really? We summon Yurgir and immediately gets knocked out. Like, not like knocked out. Still, like. Making very annoying noises.
It does it.
good measure, just... Why do you still exist?
Cutting to the chase.
I hate tentacles! Okay, so we're actually in control of our allies. Interesting. I just got 3 enemies at once. So just attack or cleave. Wounded Blessing. And she still gets attacks after that too. At least a couple. Really? I'm guessing this is just a scripting issue. They don't have a way to script it so that certain enemies will disappear when
Talk to me. Can't afford to let up.
Harp Squadron. Oh, he has ranged attack. Oh, let's see here. Can I have any ways to heal? Well, we'll friggin' use our ranged attack, even though it's gonna have a disadvantage and have a 30% chance of hitting, which for a friggin' dragon does not make any sense at all. So he's dead.
Count on me.
Huh? Is this the... Okay, there's our possible Oblex planet friend. Can we jump? We can't jump. Oh, we have to use our frickin' up! We use our frickin' movement to... We have nothing in range. We can start moving toward the dragon and hope it doesn't kill us.
Let my name be known.
Bring it home. What? What?
Time for some bloody work.
Quick save. And we've taken down the toughest enemy on the field.
Need to find a way forward.
We still have 2 Dream Guardians left. Again, frickin' stupid. Great, so we have that to deal with now.
Let's end this.
Let's just focus on it. Oh, that's a tentacle. Where's the other one? Where's the ugly one? Which one's the ugly one? What's over there?
Let's cook with fire, baby.
Execute.
Want another?
Well, move that general direction then. Spiritual weapon once again proves to be kind of useless. Okay, that was useless. Why can't we jump? Oh, because we used our frickin' bonus action!
Make way.
Use our frickin' action surge.
And away I go.
We have many enemies left to deal with. Oh shit! At least we're in a location where What's our radius? Is it even gonna be worth it? No, it's not. Target's too far. Makaria, you may not really need it. And,
Let's go. Let's see.
Hold them back. The brain is almost under control.
target's still too far.
My path be true.
Uh, just slowly creep and sleep and glide across the floor. Do you get like a concentration check there? Or... Really? So okay, barely healed.
All right, Karlak, it's go time.
Oh. Okay, here.
You feel it, a sudden shift. The brain is weakening, its grasp of itself slipping. This is your chance. Even bound, its will is stronger than anything you've ever felt. The chains shake, threatening to break at any moment.
Its will is weakening. Let's finish this.
Okay. So it's a 1v1 fight. I don't know if the Iron Flash is gonna help us a lot here. Of course, we use their potion here, so they can't. Well, first, let's try to get closer to it. Cast magic missile at third level. Well, let's cast magic missile into the darkness. Great, our mind's broken. Meanwhile, if it will switch the camera properly. Where are we? Oh, we could actually enter the psyche ourselves. Sweet. So this isn't just 1v1. This is.
Taking position.
Oh, and we're hasted too. Sweet. Okay. We don't have a lot of movement here. Apparently, allies can't. Only party members can use the portal. Okay. Well, that's okay, I guess. I have no idea what we can do here.
Need to stay focused.
Um,
On the move.
I don't think that healing word is gonna be worth it.
Smell blood. I'm not gonna like this, mate. Swift and lethal. Taste my fury.
Bam. Wham. Thank you. Ma'am.
Impossible. Reconsider. Assess. Implore.
subdued. At last. This is its death rattle.
Spare me. Join me. Wield me. Become absolute.
This is it, soldier. This is what we fought for. Time to end this thing.
The brain is on the cusp of its final thought, and it's taking all of Karlak's strength to keep it there. An opportunity, perhaps.
Really? We're gonna become the top absolute. I think even when we do an evil playthrough, we're probably still not going to become the absolute. Unless we're incredibly stupid. Go ahead, Karlak. The moment is yours.
No more tadpoles, brain.
Or Gazelle,
It's time to die.
depending on which we decide is canon.
My master. I must obey. I must end.
Hope we have Featherfall somewhere. Oh, the brain falls. Everyone dies.
Hopes, nightmares, and the screams of legions upon legions of unborn lipids. The pain rips through you, obliterating all thought, all feeling. The tadpole burns in your brain.
Several tadpoles, so we're just gonna be brain dead at the end of this. Goes the crown of curses.
Silence. For the first time in a long time, your thoughts are
Oh
entirely
no.
alone.
Is that well it's gonna end?
Gravity.
Well, at least we have a brain to cushion our fall. Hopefully it's buoyant too. And we're gonna fall in the fall in the river. I don't think we can tell you like if this actually is. Oops! Oh. Well, it did fall in the river. Although I'm not sure where we fell. Or where everyone else fell. We should really see all of our other party members out here fighting the elephants in the city. Like, there should be some involvement.
Everything you did, everything you sacrificed, it was worth it. For this.
Like potentially Karlak's soul. Or Lizelle's. I mean, we could just make both canon and alternate realities. I guess, I don't know. Okay, we survived. How, we didn't really see.
I'm lucky I learned to swim when I did.
My powers, they're draining. Just like Mazora said they would. A small price to pay in the grand scheme of things.
Boo did not doubt us for a moment. Not during.
At least everyone's here.
Our many failures.
And the tadpoles have fallen silent, I take it? Good. A mind flare wouldn't make for much of a heroic statue. Ah. Well, perhaps I speak with too much haste.
It's all right. I knew what I was doing.
I will ensure that all Githyanki know your name and your sacrifice. What you have done today will start a fire that rages across the astral plane.
Now I had to kill you, God's forsaken elephant.
With their lost prince returned, my people will burn away Vlaakith's corruption. And it is all thanks to you, the Illithid who defied a Netherbrain.
You did good, Karlak.
I did.
Or Lizelle.
I saved the fucking world. And I think I might live long enough to tell the tale too.
I thank you, my liberator, my savior.
Let's hope that, like, I would say if in the Karlak path, which is what we're seeing here, because the Lizelle path just isn't possible in the game.
My people are leaving.
She does have her soul, and it will.
Come, Lizelle. We will free the Githyanki and dismantle the Empire. Let them be imprisoned no longer.
We gotta use our persuasion here. I think I might just make them both canon in alternate realities. Because, like I said, they're both interesting. Like, Karlak is interesting because she survives for freedom, like, guaranteed. And again, my own headcanon for the ending is that Karlak is actually Karlak. She has her soul intact because of reasons. Because there's at least 3 separate reasons that she could have her soul intact. I will feed you when I'm done. It's gonna be done a little later than you might normally get your food, but you'll get your food. Or should I should feed my cat for luck in this persuasion check. Let's take a break to feed our cat, who just did that thing where she kind of does a little leap at the header. Dang it, I wish you guys could see that. She's just so adorable. You know, she's annoying. That's what it means to be a cat. Adorable and occasionally annoying. Always adorable. probably get some more water too, actually. Took a little longer because I remembered I was just I need to my grocery store finally had frozen hush puppies, which I love. Well, not frozen, but you know, put them in my air fryer, and in order to get the best results, I had to thaw them for half an hour. So I like, okay, well, I'll start thawing them, and then probably by the time I get through the ending, okay, you have found a new purpose here, Lizelle. Stay in Fedrun, craft a new fate. Well, that is a... We should have advantage for maxing out her, at least for maxing out her, that might still... Wow! We barely succeeded, but we succeeded.
Mother Gith battled for liberty, but it was only here, with you, that I learned what it meant to be free. Orpheus, I'll remain here. My destiny is for neither you nor Vlaakith to set. It is mine alone.
I will not say I'm pleased with your choice, but I will wish you good fortunes. Whatever may come, you are still Talok Morgir, sister in freedom.
Okay, I like him.
Gestil, my liberator.
With the Githyanki gone, there's nothing left but the silence of the city, smouldering, waiting to be rebuilt. But it seems that Gale's mind is elsewhere.
The crown. It's somewhere in the Giontha. If I salvage the stones, I can reforge it.
Really? We've talked about the scale.
And once I have, I'll return it to Mistra. She'll cure me of my affliction. And I'll finally be free.
Really? And why even reforge it? Just give her the pieces and be like, okay. Like, if you actually want it restored, then restore it yourself. But why even, like, risk reforging it? Just get the pieces, take the pieces to Mistra. Or consult Mistra to see if she wants you to reforge it before bringing it to her. Anyway, but yet you'll be the chosen again.
And a more deserving one this time around. If this adventure has taught me anything, it's that there are things in this world far more valuable than power. Besides, grown quite fond of this merry band of ours, and I'd quite like to see what happens to it. I'm sure Mistra will summon me soon enough, but until then, I propose we celebrate our victory the mortal way, with a drink in our hands and reckless abandon in our hearts.
A nip, a dance, and a song. Don't mind if I do. I think we're due an evening's reprieve. What's our leader have to say?
I hear is lovely this time of year. We should stay in the city for a while, help to rebuild it.
I much prefer bloodletting to bricklaying. Hunt prey with me by night, and I will build with you by day.
I honestly don't mind what we do once we get to the... Ow! What the... Oh no. Oh God. Well, it was nice when it lasted. Ah! I'm sorry. I have to go.
It seems that's the end of Astarion's love affair with the sun. That'll be hard on him.
Maybe we should have ascended him. They could help us here's the wedding ceremony.
And it's
Ellie, no.
because of you.
Sorry.
You, who were destined to become a thrall. Thanks to you, there will be no Illithid Empire, no Death God's tyranny. You have earned your place amongst the legends of the Sword Coast. You are the saviors of Baldur's Gate.
Last night was perfect. Though I couldn't help lying there thinking about my parents before you stirred.
Oh, dead parents, the perfect post-coital. Normal, you're still grieving.
I gave them the release they asked for. Freed myself from Shah's grasp just as they wished for. But there's moments where I think I'd trade that to be able to see them again. Talk to them again. There's so much only they could have told me. But that's all gone now. I've got to move on. Find some place for myself.
There's a place for you by my side if you want it.
I was hoping you'd say that. Whatever lies ahead will be far less daunting if I have you. It could be just like old times. Well, hopefully not exactly like old times. I think I've had enough camping and mortal peril for one lifetime.
That's an interesting epilogue there. Okay, so in this timeline, I guess Karlach's still I hate to talk over the singing, but you could probably the soundtrack you can find somewhere online, or just buy the freaking game. It's deluxe edition. I think includes the soundtrack. I'll keep the earbuds in. They're just Ellie, could you please not interrupt me while I'm trying to create my own Mass Effect free epilogue? So, yeah, I guess the only... Shut up with your frickin' spam. So, in my original Conceived engine ending, where Karlach does not become a Mind Flayer, we basically have her, well, regardless of, in both endings, I'll start off what happened in both variations, in both timelines. To one degree or other. I think, I'm not, Ellie. Ellie, I need to consult the book. Listen to the song while I consult the book for the rules of plane shift. There we go, it's right there, at the very top of the page. Components variable semantic and so you have forked metal rod warfare. This is a sub-level conjuration, so we get it in a few levels, I think. Or one of us would. Instantaneous. Okay. So you need a metal rod worth at least 200 gold pieces, attuned to a particular plane of existence. Huh, so it has to be attuned. How do you do that? Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, Ellie. I did that for nothing. Um. um. I think there might be a spell where you need where you can use an object from the plane. So like we already have like I don't know if it's consumed by the spell. I doubt it. Um. That might be scrying though. Well, anyway, we have like plane shift, and we set up. Ellie, if you're gonna be like this, don't be on my lap, please. I am not in the mood for your sass right now. Here's the full cast list. Matthew Mercer's in there, obviously. Probably the only name I recognize. Yeah. Oh, Jason Isaacs played Cortash. Coach J.K. Simmons. Those are probably the only other two names I recognize in here. I don't know a whole lot of voice actors. It's limited to the Critical Role cast mostly. And a few others. Like there's the voice of Batman. A few others, but yeah. This is a very long list. So we established some form of reliable transportation to and from the House of Hope. Maybe with the help of Diabolist, I don't know. That might be short term at least. And we might even purchase an actual property in Baldur's Gate somewhere where we can maybe even use his mirror system to add something to his mirror system, which allows us to go back and forth. But anyway, the House of Hope basically becomes our base of operations as the Heroes of Hope, being a further thing. We keep Karlach there for a while until we find someone in the upper city or anywhere else. Maybe even, probably with the help of the Gondians. Probably we get some assistance from the Gondians, almost certainly. Because they help to create the infernal engines inside the Steel Watchers. So for them, that's actually kind of what I imagine might be added in the patch eventually. Is that, you know, we as a reward for freeing the Gondians, and assisting the Gondians, maybe. That would, of course, be the ending where it's Lozelle and not Karlach who becomes the Mind Flayer. Or it could even be a further universe where we find some other way of doing this. But now, in this universe that we just saw, again, we're probably going to consult with. We're going to have a conversation with Wizards just to confirm that is actually Karlach's soul within the Illithid. Like, is that possible? Is that what's actually going on? I mean, I guess to that extent, maybe that's where our Arcana check will go, to allowing us to know that. maybe something that Makaria didn't even think to search her memory about prior to. She also could have just done research and be like, okay, well, if Illithids are actually soulless, then what's going on with Kodak? So basically, because of that, and because of the unique circumstances of Karlach's illithidification, metamorphosis, basically she has her own soul. She's not going to succumb to vampire ego syndrome, as the lore runner puts it, and she's cool, and maybe we finally get to make love to a mind flayer. In our polyamorous relationship that we eventually work out with Shadowheart. I would say that eventually happens. Like, regardless. Probably after we sort everything out with Karlach in the Karlach isn't an Illithid universe. Let's just call it Karlach isn't an Illithid universe. She would, we had to convince her to effectively be the third wheel, but in the relationship, because Shadowheart is the number one. But I do think that Makaria would have, again, the raw charisma to convince Shadowheart that she has room in her heart for two partners. I guess Karlach to a different degree as well, but yeah, the band stays together more or less. I mean, it seems to be the implication here. We may look for a way to cure Asterian's vampirism if he is interested in it. In the meantime, he'll be an asset in mostly nighttime operations, nighttime and/or underground operations. For the Heroes of Hope. I think regardless of whether or not I don't know what's going to happen with Lae'zel being an Illithid, because that's just not, like, I'm not sure if, considering that Orpheus didn't kill Karlach that we saw anyway, maybe he wouldn't kill Lae'zel, but we probably would still we probably still have the Illithid Lae'zel be, which would also still have Lae'zel's soul, because that's what we've already determined is the case in this situation. It might be a little easier in a way, because I'm not sure if Orpheus would be as keen to have an Illithid as part of his troop. Like, not necessarily either because of his own prejudices or because he knows that his people would have the prejudices. And just pragmatically be like, I appreciate what you did, but I see you as being worthy of... Personally, I see you as being worthy, but it may take far too much to convince all the other Githyanki that you are of the same. So there might be something to that effect. In that universe. I think it's kind of like bull for canon. It's just, it's just there's an alternate universe out there somewhere. I'm not sure about the concept of the Makaria verse, because the Whimsy verse just sounds cooler for my other character, and I'm probably gonna play. Like I consider the idea of continuing to play Makaria in Starfield, but I guess drop a like if you want to see Makaria in Starfield. You'll have a few hours to do that if you want. I do really like doing her voice, because it also will help like sharpen my ability to do and be comfortable with doing it in English accent, since it's been a long time since I've attempted to put on like a British type accent. So I kind of stumbled a little bit to start with, because it's just getting comfortable, building up my confidence, and eventually there's a few hiccups here and there, but I think I've gotten pretty good at it. And hopefully if I ever like role play her in a tabletop game, I'll be able to do her voice pretty well, although I might still have a different kind of nervousness with that. And actually having to improvise all of her dialogue and not just... That's gonna be the hardest challenge playing her in tabletop, is like playing her as being like there was a lost opportunity to like try and improvise her little speech to the troops at the end, and all I could think of was like the bits and pieces I remember from Aragon's speech at the end of Return of the King. I should have just like looked that up and then sort of read it kind of verbatim, but like replacing things appropriately. That could have been fun. I'm just gonna think of whatever else to say. Like, I guess I could just do my wrap up here of I don't think there's a lot to say for the wrap up. Just about Makaria's arc. The game doesn't allow a lot of the things that I would want to do with her in tabletop. Like, I definitely want to, more emphasize her initial, like, fish out of water qualities a lot more. Definitely her kind of naivete and degree of gullibility, potentially, due to her low wisdom score. Like, I definitely initially had her intentionally making some dumb decisions here and there, and then kind of growing to not be quite as dumb. Her wisdom score apparently went up by 1 point. I'm not sure if it's a buff from something or what, but Alienware? Like special thanks or something, or what? Um, so I mean, her arc is a little subtler, I guess, in a lot of ways, but I think that's also good because people do often grow in real life in subtle ways. Although I think the arc that I was able to accomplish the most was the idea of her starting out with no deity and then eventually settling upon Selûne. The only like regret is that I reached that point long before they patched in the ability to change the character's appearance. So, but like in lore, in canon, her appearance changed much sooner than what we see in this playthrough. We could also try to settle on a name for. I wish I had an active chat room here, because then we could have some conversations while the credits are rolling. Let's start plotting our next playthrough, maybe. Do we have drow names in here? Oh, my we have lots of we have elf child names, elf adult names, elf family names. We don't have drow names in here. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because you can play as a drow elf, and drow elves have very different naming conventions than other elves. It is supposed to be Thanapar's guide to everything! I want my money back. I guess I'll have to find a name generator online to try fantasy names. So, whatever. Alexa, stop! There won't be any more or less flawed by the time I get to them, so... I'm not sure what class. I mean, it's gotta be a while, so like, just drop any suggestions for like what my Dark Arch character should be in the comments, if you want to. My current idea is to make them probably a barbarian, maybe even a barbarian paladin multiclass. If I end up playing it on PS5 to do a review, I might also just do it for fun. Also, every year, if you're new to this channel, every year I do, in October, I usually do an event called Pixel, which is like all month long. I play like horror-oriented games, and I've been meaning to play Resident Evil 2 remake for a while. I don't know if it's gonna happen this year with Starfield. The best we could hope for is maybe in the last week of October. I'll take a break from Starfield to play Resident Evil 2 remake, maybe. But I'm not gonna make any promises because I might be like deep into Starfield at that point. I could just look and do a search to see if there's any horror-themed quests at that point that might be appropriate. But there's a fairly good chance that we're just we're just not going to do Pixelween this year. Oh, Chris Perkins is in Special Thanks. Of course he is. There's also Jeremy something or other. I don't know. Hunter, best metal band in the world. I don't know. I never heard of them. Again, I'm more into Japanese music than... I'm not sure if a lot of the Japanese rock music that I'm into would necessarily be considered metal. I guess, like, baby metal, maybe? It's probably the... some of it probably would be considered metal, like, oh yeah, I think, like, Unlucky Morpheus, I think it's considered something to be, symphonic metal, so... I'm not sure if, like, any of the bands, the Japanese bands would be considered metal exactly. I mean, they'd all be, like, subgenres of metal. I got Yumi, my cat. Apparently they named their cat Yumi. I'm not sure if... it'd probably be up to Shadowheart mostly, whether or not, her and Makaria properly marry. I'm not sure Makaria would be the one to propose. Oh, that's because she's not, like, forward enough to be the one to propose. Just because, like, she wouldn't think to, probably. It's simple as that, I guess. Like, she never think to you because, like, she... Did I say that? Did I mention, like, why she never think to? Like, I just mentioned it earlier again, but, like, there's part of it was in my head, and part of it I'm not sure if I spoke out aloud. But, like, she never think to you because, like, you're just comfortable with how things are. But if Shadowheart asked, then she'd be open to it. At which point Kara could basically become their mutual mistress, probably? I guess because this is my story, I'd probably would say they do eventually, like, legally tie the knot. I don't know what else to say here because this is the long credit section, but I'm not wanting to leave just in case there's actually some kind of post credits thing. Probably not. Like heck, the scene with Shadowheart at the end seems like more like a post credit scene than the proper ending of the game. Post credit scene will just be a conversation with the Illithid Karlach, and then like it seems like okay, we're all cool, and like like I'm not plotting behind your back to take over the city or whatever. I don't know what the conversation would be, and then like once we leave, Karlach turns to the camera, or like literally turns, like floating there, turns like a turntable almost, and then her eyes glow, glow malevolently, and we cut to black with an orchestra sting or like some sort of like drum beat, like or something, or just a dun dun dun. The dog named Dobby. I don't want to skip the credits because, like, it's important. Everyone who worked on this game and everyone they wish to thank. Every single member of the staff has someone to thank, or some group of people. I'll put my earbuds back in. Oh, this is just generic music that we've already heard. Like, if this were a movie, there would probably be, Also, I forgot to mention during this that, there's a degree of pride that I have. Probably ill-founded, necessarily, that I have Belgian ancestry, and this is a Belgian development studio. So there's probably, like, some very, very distant cousins somewhere in this massive staff of people who worked on this game. I'd like to think, anyway. Like my 7th or 8th or 9th, 10th cousin. Yeah, I think he's just looping for Baldurian babies. My baby cat Luna, born with the blessings of Shar. Don't you mean Shares? It's a cat. They have to be born with the blessing of Shares, not Shar. Maybe Shar and Shares are one and the same. Because we know all cats are secretly evil. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I think we're getting near the end of the credits now. Hope that my hush bees aren't too fawed. So, just tentatively, what would I rate this game? Probably an 8 out of 10. in its current state. I could see it with a few fixes here and there. That it could be a 9 or maybe even a 10 out of 10. Also, I watched Lord play through the haunted house section, and it really kind of isn't worth it. He didn't even get a portrait of himself. He got a portrait of Minsk for some reason. It may have been a glitch.
There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou soughtst to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel, felled by mortals. I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
A more confirmation that he is Jurgle. Also, no confirmation about Karlak, whether or not her soul is intact. Again, there's particulars about her metamorphosis that I will, again, in my own personal headcanon, she has her soul intact. And she will totally not turn evil. And if she does turn evil, it will be because... It won't be because she's an Illithid. It'll be because Karlak was secretly evil the entire time. Or because her absolute power as an Illithid will corrupt her absolutely. Anyway, need to give my earbuds some time to recharge. I may or may not stream Starfield tonight. It may be a very short stream if I do. Yeah. Okay, so, as always, there are a bunch of things you can do that'll take a few seconds of your time, as well as other things that are a bit more involved, and Ellie demands that you do them, though. But I just highly suggest you do them. But my cat, who is now on my lap and you can't see her, absolutely demands. She commands you. She compels you. She's actually controlling your brain right now with her she's secretly an Illithid. and she's controlling your brain. So you must like and comment and subscribe and follow or whatever is applicable on your platform. So it's out of my hands. It's out of your hands too, actually, because you've been actually she's secretly an elder brain. So yeah. Anyway, regardless of whether or not you succeed your wisdom saving throw or whatever it takes to do that, I thank you very much for having the wisdom and patience and kindness to watch all the way through this.